Hi, I'm Elizabeth Mellon from Dundery's Upper Secondary, and I'm going to give you some comments on the exercise creating a moving biopoem, comments for you as a teacher. But firstly, I just want to make sure that you've seen the instructions beforehand. Have you? Have you seen this film, How to Create a Moving Biopoem? You can find it on YouTube, Elizabeth Mellon. You need that in order to understand these comments. And it's also smart if you've actually seen my sample, my moving biopoem, which you can also find on YouTube, Elizabeth Mellon, right? And if you need the template that you use when working with a biopoem, you can go to SlideShare and find it on Elizabeth Mellon, my moving biopoem template. So when that's finished, I just want to give some comments now that you know about how it's done. And I will start with what the biopoem is good for, actually. Firstly, it's good for getting to know each other. This is a way to really get to know your pupils, which is smart if you get a new group. They get to know each other, they get to know you if you, which I strongly recommend, make a biopoem yourself. So it's a nice way of knowing new things about each other. But let's say that you've worked with the group beforehand. It's still nice to learn some other stuff about each other. So that's a good thing. Second, giving everyone a voice. In many English classrooms, there are people who are afraid of speaking in front of others. The problem is if they don't get through that barrier, if they don't start speaking early on when the group forms, it gets increasingly difficult for them. So this exercise is actually quite appropriate here, because this exercise, if given early on in a new class, is an excellent opportunity for making all of your students dare to speak in public. It's a good step for the shy pupils, as they don't need to speak in front of the class. Instead, they make the recording, not in a society, in a company that can be perceived as threatening at school, but in their home, in the safe environment of their own home, they make the recording. And they can sort of re-record it as many times as they want to until they feel safe with it. And then it's probably easier for them after they've done that to speak in class afterwards. Also, practicing giving precise descriptions. In the instruction video, I really urge the pupil to describe with precision to make their descriptions really come alive to the listeners. This is something that you can go back to when you work with writing or even literature, how to make precise descriptions. I'm actually doing the biopoems in the beginning of a unit called Describing People, so it works well there. Another thing, practicing digital skills, not least practicing working with images, finding appropriate images that carry meaning. Also learning how to work with this very practical tool that I like, Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, so these are some reasons why it's good to do it, and how does it work then? Well, I would describe the process, I would suggest that you use this process. Lesson 1 or parts of lesson 1, you use about 25 minutes. And what I would like you to start with doing is actually show them your own moving biopoem. I really, really want you to do one, because that will sort of increase the positive effect of it. I think that they get a personal relationship to you, and that you will understand and anticipate any problems that they might encounter when you've done the same exercise, so they recognize that. But if you really don't want to do it, you can show them my sample so that they get an idea of what they're supposed to do. And once they get a vision of that, once they see it's done, you can show the video how to create a moving biopoem, which I made as well. And then you can hand out or digitally distribute the template, and see to it that everybody understands what it is that they're supposed to do. You can give them some time to brainstorm around it, and then give them a template as homework. Lesson 2, use about 25 minutes this time as well. Let them give each other peer response on the templates. We'll look through grammar and spelling, as well as perhaps talk a little bit about the precision in their descriptions, right? And then show this instruction video, how to create a moving biopoem, that I made one more time. Now you can start in the middle. You don't have to do the sort of template things in the beginning of the video, which they've already done, of course. And then you give them as homework to let them finish the moving biopoem in their safety of their house. Okay. So for the forthcoming lessons, you can play a few biopoems each lesson. It might be tiresome to play them all at once. And you give room for some questions and comments when doing so. And then let the other pupils that listen to a biopoem say some good things about them. Okay, now I would like to make some comments on the template, actually. Biopoems, they're not my inventions. Actually, they've been around for some time. Just Google biopoem and you'll find several, and they all look like this. It's kind of a pattern, very set, that the students are supposed to fill out these blanks. But of course, different biopoems have different things to fill out. I've chosen these particular things for a few reasons. For example, who likes to listen to, performed by, I choose that because I think that I can play their favorite songs later on, like for listening exercises or just the beginning of classes. I think that would be a nice surprise for them. Who's interested in, it's always nice to know about your pupils' interest. You can sort of relate to that anytime in class later on. It's fun. And 3 adjectives. It's good to know some more adjectives. In this video, I urge them to Google and learn some new character traits that can be useful. I'm going to see to it that my pupils use at least one new adjective that I didn't know before. And then I'm going to put all these adjectives together that they've made in their videos to sort of a big new word bank. They get to learn all these new adjectives, and which suits the unit that we're working with, describing people. But of course, you can alter this in any way you want. You might want to put in totally different things in your template. That's fine by me. And now for assessment. This is a personal and introductory exercise. It wouldn't feel natural to attach it to a rubric or grading criteria. Still, it could be useful for formative assessment. It's smart to use peer response as a template, for example. And you can also, once they're all finished, you can choose one good line from each biopoem that gives good description, and then you can discuss in class why they're so good and so on. But not that much of assessment here. Anyway, best of luck with this exercise. I hope you'll try it. And have a nice day or evening or anything. Bye-bye.